Hello, I'm Dr. Gareth Moore and I'm a puzzle and brain training author, but in this video I'm looking at the Exit the Game Advent Calendar for this year, the Silent Storm. And we're getting quite close to the end now. We're 8 days to go, which means we're 2/3 of the way through. 8 days to the final day and only 9 days until the big day itself, Christmas Day. And let's see if we can help Santa deliver all the toys on time by carrying on with the story of the Silent Storm. So I shall get rid of the help and hints and solutions and hope I don't need them. And here we are with day 6. Oh, hello, that's short. Day 16 of the calendar. That is the shortest bit of text I've seen, I think, any of the days on any of the calendars. And I have to say, actually, I don't really care too much about the story most of the time. I know a lot of people really enjoy the story. Well, I just want to get on with the puzzles. But now, there's no story. I'm like, oh, where's the story? Anyway, directly behind the icy stable, the door opens into a dark room. The contrast to the penguin enclosure. I thought it was the sleigh pulling enclosure. Maybe they really do have sleigh pulling penguins. Anyway, the contrast to the penguin, I'm talking about yesterday's door, the contrast to the penguin enclosure could not be greater. After being surrounded by the bright, glittering ice crystals and the chattering penguins, you are now engulfed in silence and darkness. Only one small candle flickers on the opposite wall. You feel your way carefully into the room, barely able to see anything. Suddenly you hear a voice. But it's not Santa's. Which actually reminds me, last year or the year before, there was a door you had to feel inside, I think. So let's hope it's not like that, because I really struggled to film that. Anyway, now open door 16, behind which you will find 2 riddle cards, P1 and P2. And yes, it's totally blank on the back. So here's the calendar, and yesterday we found that door 16 was over here. Yes, right on the far side of the calendar, from the point of view of my camera. Yes, all the way over here. So let's open the door and see just how dark that room really is. Oh, pretty dark. Let's go with that. Let's have a look at the card in there. Are we expecting 2 riddle cards? I assume so. Right, I can't remember what it said already. Let's see what they've got to say. Well, finally, I thought you were never going to arrive. It would be great if you could... Oh, interesting. These are instructions, clearly, because it's in bold. Leave the door open a little bit. Otherwise, I won't be able to see anything once the candle burns out. What's that? You can't see anything either? Well, that's because there's nothing in here. Oh, by the way, you read the code first below, then left, then above. Right, off you go. Get out of here. Okay, and then over on the door itself, there is a candle, a picture of a candle. And in the room, I can see absolutely nothing. Let's grab my close-up camera and see if that picks up anything. Right, so I'm pointing my camera right inside the room, and that's the back of it, and that sort of greeny glow is the light. I've got a ring light around the camera. It's not part of the room. All that's actually in the room is that candle. And on the floor, that just looks plain to me. On the left, that looks plain to me. On the right, that looks plain to me. And on the top, well, that's clearly plain as well. Well, what's plain is that there's nothing in the room. I can't even see any like magic textures or anything, because there was a room last year, as I say, I think it was last year, you had to feel the walls. They had some printed, slightly raised surface on them, but that does not appear to be the case here. I think it would show up, at least it would catch the light somewhere. Why does it say to mostly close the door? Are we seeing something through the gap? It's interesting, isn't it? Am I supposed to just see the candle like that? It's very faintly lit at the back of the room, isn't it? Because ultimately, every day what I'm really looking for is a 3-digit code to put into my decoder strip. And when I've put that in, I can turn it over and work out what my next calendar door is, because they're not otherwise labelled. So, is there anything special about these cards? Not that I can see. I think they're just regular cards with standard exit patterns on the back. Let's have a look at that story again. Was there anything in here I missed? Directly behind the icy stable, the door opens into a dark room. The contrast is great. You're engulfed in silence and darkness. A small candle flickers. Now, I thought you feel your way carefully into the room might be a clue that you, as a solver, felt. But anyway, and you hear a voice. Where's the voice coming from? I'm feeling inside the room now. I know you can't see, but I mean, what is there to see? It's my hand. I cannot feel anything other than just plain black. Am I supposed to be looking elsewhere in the calendar? I suppose I can... Here's the side of the door here. I can't feel anything through on the door next to it, which was open. And the door above it is open. Oh, I can't feel anything across. And the door beneath is not actually yet used, so I can't open that. Are we looking at what's broken across the door? They're 2 chocolate biscuits. They both look a bit like E.T.'s face. E.T. phone home. Because E.T. famously talks in the original dub. Maybe if I do literally what it says. If I leave the door open a little bit, I look at it. There's different numbers on the cookies, aren't there? Okay, so it really is just black inside to make clear you're not using anything inside the room. So I think this is all I'm doing. I'm opening the door a little bit. You read the code first below. So if I have the door mostly shut below, that's what I see. Now what I see here is that this is a 3 on its side. That would be visible from the right though, right? It would be a 3 from the right. I'm not viewing from the right. If I view from below, I see a 9 at the top. And then I view from the, let's move this slightly down the page screen. The code below, well, I think I see a 9 on the left here. Although it could mean, look at the 3. If that is a 3. It would have to be a 3 from the side. Then the left. So if I look at it from the left, the door's mostly shut. What do I see? Does it say look from the left? You read the code first below, then left, then above. Or maybe it doesn't mean look from the left. Maybe it just means the left-hand side, in which case it could be 3, 9. What's the number at the top? Let's try looking from above anyway. If I look from above, I see a 6 here. What about that no entry sign? Does that look like anything? You see, I was thinking as I started to explore this thought that maybe the gaps in the calendar, the black area, look like something. But perhaps it's really just what's on the lid that I'm looking at. I do at least have a possibility. I feel that that one-way sign could be a 1. Like at that angle, if viewed from here, that angle viewed from here could be a 1. Yeah, I think we've got a 1. Okay, I can switch back to the other camera. Okay, so I think we have a 1 formed here, viewed from this way, a 9 formed here, viewed from below, and a 3 formed here, viewed from that way. So I think when it says the bottom of the calendar, or first below, I think we have a 3, then left is a 9, or it could be a 6. If I'm arbitrarily rotating things, which I am with the 1 and the 3 that I think I found, then this could equally well be a 6 from above. And I suppose this could be a 7 as well. Let's say it's a 1. I've got to start somewhere, right? Let's see if the code is 3 for below, 6 for the left, no, 9 for the left, and 1 above. So 3, 9, 1. I have no real... I mean, I think there's a possibility this is correct, so I wouldn't be trying it. But I have no real confidence. Let's see if this is even possible. So it's going to be on the calendar, and we will be going, just a start, rather than moving off the side, we'll be going down, left, down, left. Ah, it's possible. Ah, that's correct. Huh, excellent. Okay. I really was not sure about that. So why am I not taking that as a 6 on the left? Wow. Because you're viewing it from the normal orientation, looking at the calendar that way. I don't know, my pointer is in front of my face. You're looking that way and you see a 3 on its side, you see a 9, and you see a 1 on its side. And the fact that you could see a 6 if you look from above is just the less likely option. What happens if I try 6? Does it still give the same result? No, it certainly doesn't. So, right. 3, 9, 1. I'll just do that again to convince myself. We're going from here, down, left, down, left. It's off the screen, but we see diamond, square, upside down triangle. So that is our door for day 17. All right. Well, so maybe that was obvious. Perhaps I was really slow. It's really hard for me to tell. So I would love to see your comments on this, whether you thought it was obvious as you were watching, or if you saw it yourself, whether you thought it was obvious too. I think sometimes when you have to use elements that are just there on the calendar and you've become sort of blasé about seeing them every day, that actually is quite hard because you become slightly inured to seeing them. You don't notice them in the same way as something that's completely fresh you've just seen inside the door on a card or in the storybook. But maybe that's just me. You may not be the same way, of course. So yeah, I'd love to read your comments on this. If you enjoyed the video, do please like it. And if you haven't yet subscribed, it'd be great if you did. It makes it easier to find future videos. Do please do that too. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, if you'd like to see my solve for tomorrow's door, the door we've just identified as door 17, then do tune in to the video tomorrow, which will post 24 hours roughly from this one. If you're watching this in Advent 2023, always available right away with a link at the end if you are watching it in the future. So, well, my future, not your future. That's kind of impossible. But all that remains otherwise for me to say is that until I see you hopefully in a future video, take care and goodbye.